Hey everyone, it's Mike from Mike Olson Art. I hope everyone's having a great day today. As usual, thank you guys, so much for taking the time to stop in and hear me talk about the card art projects that I've been working on lately. I can't thank you guys enough. This project that I want to talk to you guys about today, for whatever reason, got me thinking, about all the different Topps design years that I've already had the chance to recreate, and how there's still a couple of those dates that I'm waiting to get a request for. And one of my favorite Topps years is the 1971 design year, and I just have always thought it was a very cool year. I think it's Topps' only like black bordered card. Unless you want to count like the 1986 Topps, which has like the very large black chunk, but the 1971, that black goes all the way around, really distinctive. The font they picked for that card is really interesting, and they tended to color that really brightly, so a lot of cool things going on in the 1971 Topps. But I noticed that's just one of the design years that I hadn't gotten a request for yet until today. So the card I want to share with you guys is a 1971 Topps, and for the player, the client for this job actually chose a really, really cool player, but the player for this card just happened to actually have a really cool image in this 1971 Topps. So why don't we just take a look at what we came up with. All right, so here is my 1971 Nolan Ryan card. This card was so much fun to work on. Like I said, I'd been hoping to work on a 1971 Topps for a while now, and I don't think this client could have picked a better image from that set. This Nolan Ryan card is super fun because of the really interesting image, I think, on this card. This card looks more like some sort of, landscape painting, or, some sort of, anything but a baseball card. This one didn't have like a big portrait on the front, or even kind of a zoomed in photo of Nolan Ryan pitching. This one is like set very far away. It's, Nolan's kind of blurred on the front, so it's a really interesting image. You almost notice the Royal Crown advertisement before you even see Nolan in here. So really, really cool design, really fun to work on. So why don't we just jump right in and hear a little bit more about all the fun details that went into making this. All right, so this is our 1971 Nolan Ryan art card. Like I had said before, this 1971 design has always been really interesting to me, and I've always wanted, the chance to remake one of these cards, and I could not be happier with the player that this collector chose. Nolan Ryan is an amazing pitcher, he's an amazing athlete, but in this particular card, I just really love the image they chose. This whole thing just looks really great to me. This card looks less like a baseball card to me, and more like some sort of fine art photograph, or something that just doesn't scream baseball card to me. It doesn't have the portrait of the player that they usually have, or even like a 3/4 view of the player looking at the camera. This is really just Nolan out there doing his thing. He's in mid-pitch, so the original image on this card, he looks a little bit blurry because he is in the middle of throwing one of his pitches. So I like to think that drawing him kind of takes away a little bit of that blurriness and kind of solidifies him a little bit, but I don't think it made it look funny at all, because I still think he fits really well in this background. I will say that this black edge here is very challenging. Anytime I do an art card, one of the hardest things to do is get these things centered. And this is probably some of my best centering I have ever done. If you look at the black edges on these three sides, they all look pretty similar. You don't see one of them looking real big and the other one looking real small. So I'm really happy with the centering on this one. It's really hard to do, and I don't succeed often, but this is a good one. So really fun getting to do this black outline. You know, this card to me, like I said, when you look at this card, you almost don't even notice Nolan. I notice Royal Crown jumps out at me first. Almost, you know, Mets and his name and all this stuff also jumps out at me before I even see him down there. So just a really different card, and, you know, one that I had to approach a little bit differently, especially with this black edge. I made sure to do that last. I did not want to risk putting my hand in that and then transferring some of the black all over the card. So I left that for last, and I'm glad I did, because you know, that's always tricky to get a nice solid coat of any color, let alone black. So worked out really, really well. You know, this card, I didn't really know much about it when I started it. One of the really amazing facts about this card is that there's been over 4,200 cards submitted for grading, and so far none, that's 0, none of them have reached PSA 10. And in fact, the PSA 9s are just as scarce for this card. Only 31 exist at the moment, so just a really odd card. Hard to find a good version of it. So, you know, I don't know what the PSA on this one is, but I'd say it's pretty decent. You know, my edges are good, my centering is good. I'd call this at least a PSA 9, but that's just me. But this was his last year on the Mets, and I think that they did a beautiful job with this card. So thank you so much to the collector that wanted to do this one. That is our card front. Here is our card back. Nolan, I put his Mets team on here, his Mets number, and still put all of his career statistics. He's obviously retired now, so I can put his full career statistics on there, and super impressive. You know, no surprise there. So that is our card back, and then back to our card front. Just a beautiful card to get to work on. I haven't seen many cards that have, you know, the look of this kind of card. So this was a real diamond in the rough to get to work on, and, you know, super fun. All right, so that was a closer look at my handmade 1971 Nolan Ryan Topps card. Thank you so much to the collector that reached out and wanted to, you know, remake this card. This project was super fun. You know, like I had mentioned, I always wanted to do a 1971 Topps, and this client just picked one of the most amazing cards out of that set. So thank you so much. This was a blast to work on. Can't thank you guys enough. That's it, guys. You know, I always say, there's no card we cannot create together. So if you guys have ideas, if there's a card that you would love to make, just reach out. You can contact me easily here on Instagram and send me a direct message, or you can head over to my website, mikeolsonart.com, and contact me there. But either way, you know, I'd love to hear your ideas, and I'd love to work on, you know, the card that's special to you guys. So thanks so much, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.